Well, welcome to Exploring Israel for Bible Study once more. I'm Jeff Baxter. I'm the next generation pastor at Mission Hills Church in Littleton, Colorado. And as I say, my wife and I love to lead these trips to Israel, and I love bringing people and places to life so the Bible comes to life for you. Let's talk about Chorazin today. Chorazin. Well, let's talk about Korazim. When you spend any time with Jesus, you're going to see miracles. It's true today. It's always been true when you spend time with Jesus. It validates who Jesus is. He's God in the flesh. He's 100% man, 100% God. He'd spend months in the Galilee area that added up to years. They had the opportunity to spend time with Jesus and see him do miraculous events. There are these three cities in the area of the Galilee called the Orthodox Triangle or the Evangelical Triangle. It's Capernaum, Korazim, and Bethsaida. We've talked about Bethsaida earlier and Korazim, and now Capernaum, and now Korazim. There came a time where Jesus would draw the line. His relationship with these communities would dramatically change. If you have a Bible, push pause. If you don't have one, go get one. Let's go to Matthew chapter 11, starting at verse 20. Then Jesus began to denounce the towns in which most of his miracles had been performed because they did not repent. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the miracles had been performed in you, had been performed in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago with sackcloth and ashes. But I tell you, it will be more bearable for Tyre and Sodom on the day of judgment than for you. And you, Capernaum, will you be lifted to the heavens? No, you will go down to the Hades. For if the miracles that were performed in you had been performed in Sodom, it would have remained to this day. But I tell you that if it will be more bearable for Sodom on the day of judgment than for you. These are incredible words that Jesus pronounces on these three cities. This is the area where he's doing most of his ministry for 3 years. These are the towns where most of his miracles took place. Korazim, Bethsaida, Capernaum. If they had only repented and believed that he was the Son of God, then things would be different. They knew so much, but they believed so little. And when you see the fullest extent of God's in front of you, when he does miracles and he backs who he says he is by having someone stand up and walk who's never walked before, or to see who's never seen before, it changes everything. Jesus is saying that, man, you guys know so much with your heads, but you believe so little with your hearts. He blasts the religious leaders, but he's blasting these towns for not believing in him. He's blasting the Jews too. Jesus is heartbroken about their brokenness and not recognizing who he said he was. There are very few things that get Jesus' attention about people, but desperation is one of them that does. Jesus is looking for people to be desperate for him. So he comes to Chorazim and he curses Chorazim. He curses this place. There's a reason why it's in ruins today. And it's not only because of an earthquake that happened a number of centuries ago, but it's also because Jesus cursed these places. In this particular place, Chorazim, you can see the ruins. It's amazing. Very few groups go here to see the ruins of Chorazim. It's black because it's been made out of volcanic rock. It's amazing to stand in the synagogue there, see the Moses seat, which I've talked about in an earlier episode, and be able to see these ruins and then realize that Jesus said these things to Chorazim. Woe to you, Chorazim. I'm cursing you, Chorazim. Because a child was made well in this place, and the deaf were made to hear, and people were given sight who'd never been given sight before. And in the end, Jesus says, it's better that I not even do a miracle in this place than for me to do a miracle and you don't believe it. Woe to you, Chorazim. Jesus can't leave us neutral. Jesus draws the line in the sand sometimes and says, are you going to be for me or against me? I've done all these good things for you. You have breath today. You can see beautiful sights in our world. And yet if you don't believe, Jesus has patience and he's loving and he's graceful. But there comes a time when time has come, drained out, and now it's time to make a decision. And Korazin was one of those places I love to take groups to, because it's amazing how it comes to life when Jesus' words, when you're standing there in that place. Well, I hope this has been significant for you. Until next time, let's keep exploring Israel for Bible study.